Hi everyone, my name's Dennis Milian. I'm here today to share my thoughts on creative research at the behest of my dear friend Lalaine Vitog, a colleague from the past century, going back to our days in the University of the Philippines, Manila. Presently, I'm the director of the Center for Academic Enhancement, the Learning Resource Center of Holy Family University. We are a Catholic university in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For those who are not too familiar with the geography of the East Coast of the United States, Philadelphia would be between New York to the north and then Washington, D.C. to the south. Um, we always take pride in saying the United States was born in Philadelphia. Now, uh, big disclaimer, um, I teach college composition, uh, basic research course. I come from a humanities background, so my views on creative research would largely be shaped uh, by my experience. So, what is creative research? For me, I think I can explain it better by starting with what it's not. So I want to begin by making a distinction between traditional, what I consider to be traditional research versus creative research. Um, Traditional research would rely, of course, on the traditional data collection methods. Your basic literature search, your basic library research. So locating primary sources and secondary sources. Of course, these days, mostly through your databases or even popular search engines. Um, Traditional data collection methods would also include surveys, experiments, interviews, focus groups, observations, yeah. And generally, we use these methods to explain, clarify, analyze a problem that ultimately touches on something about the human existence, the present reality. Now, starting with the digital age, but I think it was accelerated tremendously by the pandemic. We are thrust into merging, uh, but oftentimes competing realities of the actual versus the virtual. So, more and more, we find ourselves living in the virtual world. You wake up in the morning and you work from home, right? So you work in front of your computer, you're there, you're in the virtual space. You do your shopping, you do your partying online. And this divide between the actual and the virtual has become more blurred. More and more people are living in and expressing themselves through new media, with social media platforms taking the center stage. More and more, we are waking up to a reality where there's the actual you and then there's the virtual you. There's the actual world and there's the virtual world. And the virtual world can vary greatly depending on which virtual space you're in. You might be in a virtual space 1 minute where you're surrounded by ideas and people that validate your own set of beliefs, where you feel safe and perhaps even happy. And then the next minute, on the flip side, you might find yourself in a space surrounded by people and ideas that are contrary to your own, where you may feel threatened and disrespected. I think creative research plays a role in navigating these worlds. So, how does creative research do that? It gives us the tools to gather information from these new platforms or media. Um, we can look at new media such as video blogs, podcasts, um, the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and creative research. I think can use textual analysis, can identify visual arguments in the photographs and the videos, can skim through user comments and analyzing common thematic. You can skim through user comments, zeroing in on common thematic elements. Um, so in this way, creative research gives you the tools to understand the virtual world, so it becomes easier for us to navigate it. Now, what's the purpose of creative research? It helps us understand these new realities. It becomes the liaison between the actual and the virtual, uh, the bridge, so to speak, between the physical reality and the online reality. Now, do I think anybody can do creative research? Um, Given the definition I've taken regarding creative research, um, I think that not only can anybody do creative research, more urgently, I think we have to do creative research. We must have the nimbleness to commute between, you know, the world of the virtual and the world of the actual. So I hope these ideas I have regarding creative research would give some light into the conversation. So with that, thank you.